morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. In these tough times, it is inspiring to see priority placed on people who are in need of help. I want to thank River Region's Human Services, Ability Housing of Northeast Florida, Secretary Shaun, Donovan of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, Director Elaine Spencer, Director for Northeast Florida, to allow me to announce today's good news. My personal experience working for then Secretary Andrew Cuomo, who's now the Governor of New York, helped me to get to where I am today. It gave me a very keen sense of the struggles many Americans have when it comes to housing. HIV, AIDS does not dominate our headlines like it used to for many. It's almost unreal concept right now that it exists. But there are people out there in the streets of our city right now who are struggling. This $1.3 million from HUD is a great step toward making us a healthier society. The money provides an avenue to help 40 households in this city. As Thanksgiving holiday approaches, it is heartbreaking to think that there are people suffering who could go homeless while living with AIDS. This housing assistance is about safety and security for the vulnerable. It provides relief to an otherwise struggling population and makes us a better society by showing that we truly are brothers keepers. It is so important to know that we have an awesome team in Northeast Florida who you're going to hear from today. It is my pleasure to announce and have someone who needs no introduction, who's been fighting on the front line on housing for the homeless, those who are impacted by HIV and AIDS, someone who is right here in our community. My good friend, the director, Elaine Spencer, I'll bring up to make remarks. Elaine, would you come up, please? Let's give her a hand as she comes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for being here. I bring you greetings today from HUD Secretary Shaun Donovan and my regional administrator, Ed Jennings. It's particularly fitting, I believe, that today we assemble to honor the good work of River Region. Quite frankly, my heart aches today because we have learned that the formidable leader of over 30 years, Daria Williams, passed this morning. Let me just tell you that Daria Williams looked forward to being here today. She was very excited about this 1.3 grant award. She was excited about the promise and the hope for what this grant meant to the people that she has struggled to deliver services to over the course of her tenure. Daria was the kind of woman who operated in this community from the notion that failure was not an option and it was not final. And for her, no was not a complete sentence. She worked effortlessly, but very intentionally, very strategically, to ensure that her organization, River Region, was poised to be one of those organizations that would not be a fly-by-night organization, but one that would be sustainable over the years in this community to provide services to those among us who are the most vulnerable. And so while today is a sad moment, The Department of HUD is proud to recognize the legacy that she left, the staff whom she has poised to take over the helm of this organization. I know that Ed Jennings would have me say to those of you who are here from River Region, and to the community, the constituents in this community who depend on the resources that Daria Williams and her staff fought for every day, will continue to be benefited because she has laid an exemplary tradition, a lasting foundation. Her memory is with us today. Daria has been a part of our HUD family for 30 years. And the work that she has done is incomparable. I wish that she were here today, but I do know that all of us sense her presence, her beautiful smile. We will miss her intellect. I pray for her family. And yet, we are honored to present to the organization this $1.3 million grant, and we can be sure that you will implement the terms of that grant according to the deliberate and intentional way that Daria Williams had envisioned.
At this time, we'll have the president of the board speak. That's Dr. Danford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning. Most of you know me as head of the Jacksonville Urban League, but I'm here this morning as the board chair or the board president for this great organization. I want all of you to know that Daria and I were friends. We've been friends over 40 years, having worked together at Edward Waters College. I'm proud to be a part of this wonderful organization that means so much to the underserved in this community. And as board chair, I'll assure you that we will continue Daria's good work in terms of making certain that the individuals whom we serve will receive quality services going forward. Thank you very much. And I'd like to bring up Board Henderson. Board has recently been appointed to serve as the interim CEO for River Region. Board.
Good morning. I'm greatly humbled to be standing here on this day with the passing of Daria. Truly one of the most remarkable people I've ever known. I'm new at this. I've been a board member for River Regions for almost 8 years and past board president and treasurer. And like I said, I'm greatly humbled. But this is not about me, it's about these two organizations, River Regions Human Services and Ability Housing, in partnership with the City of Jacksonville and HUD and the mayor. It's a unique opportunity for us. I've been told by Carl it's a collaborative effort. And I think about the families that will be touched. These families face challenges and obstacles that I cannot imagine. And it allows them to concentrate on the things that families do best: nurturing, raising children, and helping each other get through this tough world we live in. But it's a great partnership with all the parties involved, and as I said, I'm greatly humbled to be a part of it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
So at this time, we'd like to present the check. Show me the money. That's what they want to see.
They still funds, still got.
All right, thank you.
Get you in front. Get you in front too, so they can get.
Yeah, you want to get in the front right here?
Yes, so you can get in
So you
front.
get a shot. Come on, Rich.
For TV.
Everybody.
looks.
Okay. You know, wait right here for a second. Two things. One, I want to do I want everybody to come back up. We'll open up for questions. But before we do that, I want to do a moment of silence in honor of Deidre Williams. We'll have one moment. Derry Williams before we have questions. We'll take some questions.
Mr. Mayor, kind of break it down for me, how does this help those 40 families, and in what way does it help them?
Well, it provides funding, and I'll have Ms. Spencer add if she want to add, or Richard or anybody else, but add funding for those who are impacted by HIV and AIDS. You know, HUD has been providing funding for these programs for years, and River Regions has played a major role in providing that assistance to families who are in need, working with the city and all the other key stakeholders on this initiative. Director Spencer, you want to?
I would like to echo what the mayor said. The funding is to provide housing to families who are affected by this horrible disease. I think one of the things that is remarkable about this particular funding is that there were only 8 grants in the nation awarded to the nonprofit community. And so I think it's important that we know that of those 8, Derry Williams' organization and the hard work that they have done, the experience and capacity that they showed in this competitive process is what gained them the victory for this $1.3 million award.
If you could just talk about sort of HIV/AIDS in this community and just the impact that this will have.
Well, this is just a reminder that, you know, we still have a problem. We got to be diligent, focusing on helping those who are impacted by the disease. Housing is a big issue. This helps families and children have a safe place to live. It's about safety and security. So it's literally reaching out to the community, making sure that they know we love them, we care about them, and we want to do everything we can to help those who are in need. It's very important.
And can you speak about how this came to be, if there was any process or how long?
Sure, as Director Spencer talked about, they issue funding every year. So it's a very competitive process, and organizations apply for the funding, and those who have a good application win the competition. It's a commitment from Department of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary Shaun, Donovan, Ed Jennings, and Director Spencer, always pushing those policies that have an impact on families. All right, thank you very much. Thank you.